Please note that today's shiur begins from Mem Hey Omid Beis, at the beginning of the new Perek. The Daf Mem Hey Omid Aleph was part of the shiurim that we had included as part of the Daf Mem Gimel shiur, which included Daf Mem Gimel, Mem Dalid, and Mem Hey Omid Aleph. So the Mishnah, which is the beginning of the 5th Perek, reads, Hashutfin shenodru hano zeh mizeh. Partners that swore to refuse granting benefit one to the other, asurin likones lochotzer. They cannot enter a courtyard that they had owned jointly. Rabbi Ozer ben Yankov Omer, Zeh nichnas l'soich shelo v'zeh nichnas l'soich sheloi. These partners, each one is able to walk into the courtyard with the claim that the section that I'm walking on right now, this is my section. And the section that the other fellow is walking in, that's his section. This concept of being able to declare or to determine that which you're walking on right now is that which you are the owner of, even though we're dealing with something that was jointly held, this is known as the concept of brera. We could translate that as retroactive determination. We determine who the owner is when you start walking in there. The Rashi, in explaining the Tanakama, says, Asurim likones l'chotzer, b'chotzer sheshnehem, we're talking about a jointly owned chotzer, the whole chad also b'drisas regel shel chavero. Each person is prohibited in walking on the property belonging to the other person. The kosavar ein brera, and the Tanakama is of the opinion that we don't hold from brera, the idea of retroactive determination. The amor that would have enabled me to say, Hai lechelik chavero ayel, v'hai lechelik chavero ayel. If you would hold from brera, you would say that each portion that you're walking on is your portion. And by not saying brera, I'm then saying that wherever I'm walking, I might very well be walking on a portion that belongs to the other person. And again, you're dealing with a situation of they had sworn not to benefit from one another. The Mishnah continues at the top of Daf Mem Vav Amud Aleph, Ushnehem asurin la'amid rechaim v'tanur ulegadil tarnagolim. Both of these people who had sworn not to benefit from one another cannot set up in that jointly owned courtyard. They cannot set up a grindstone, an oven, or raise chickens. Hoyo echod mehem mudur hano mechavero. If one of the partners had been restricted from benefiting from his friend, loy yikones l'chotzer. He cannot walk into the courtyard. Rabbi Ozer ben Yankov Omer, Rabbi Ozer, who we already saw in the Reisha of the Mishnah, who held from the concept of brera. So Rabbi Ozer ben Yankov says here, Yochol hu loymar loy, the mudar hano can say to the madir, l'soch sheli ani nichnas ve'ini nichnas l'soich shelcha. Yes, I'm walking into the chutzner. That's what I'm walking into is my part, not your part. So that even though the vow says that I cannot benefit from you, when I walk into the chutzner, that portion, that which I'm standing in, this is my part. V'koifen es hanoider limkor es chelkai. And we force the person who made the vow to sell off his portion. The Rashi 4 on the second line from the top, he who instituted, who initiated the vow, limkor es chelko. He is to sell his portion. Ason l'Rabbanan. This ruling of the koifenes hanoda limkor es chelko is in accordance with the Rabbanan. The Amri asurim likones b'chotzer. This is in accordance with them who had said that it's forbidden, it would otherwise be forbidden for the mudar to go into the chotzer. So you have this poor chap who can't walk into his chotzer as a result of his partner imposing a vow on him. So we say, look, if you imposed a vow on your friend, you've got to sell off your portion. We continue in the Mishnah. Hoyo echod min hashuk mudar be'echod mehem hano. In this case, we have a jointly owned chotzer, and a person from the outside had been, we'll call him the victim of a vow. One of these partners had imposed a vow on an outsider not to derive any benefit from him. So the Tanakama says, Lo yikones l'chotzer, that outsider cannot walk into this jointly held chotzer. Part of the chotzer is owned by someone that the outsider is not allowed to benefit from. Rabbi Ozer ben Yankiv Omer, Yochol lomar lo, the outsider can say, L'soich shel chavercha ani nichnas v'eini nichnas l'soich shelcha. The part of the chotzer that I'm walking in is a part held by your friend, not by you. So I'm not in violation of the vow. Hamudar hano mechaveroi v'yesh loi merchatzu beisabad muskorin bo'ir. Here you have a general mudar madir situation, and the madir, the person who imposed the vow, owns a bathhouse or an olive press, and those entities are currently rented out to someone in town. Im yesh lo bohen tfisas yad oser, if the madir has tfisas yad, this is an expression that the Gemara will deal with, but without translating it, certainly not in legal terms, we'll simply say, we'll give it a literal translation. That means if that madir has some holding on the bathhouse or the olive press, and we are not explaining yet what that means, what constitutes a holding on it. So if he has some holding on it, then the mudar, the subject of the vow, cannot benefit from the merchotz or the beis habad. Ein lo bohen tfisas yad muter. If the original owner who rented it out to some outsider, and that original owner does not have any holding on it, then it's mutar for the mudar to go in there. Because once the facility is rented out to someone else who has complete control over it, the madir is said to be out of the picture. Ha'omer lechavero, koinem lebeischo shani nichnas v'sodecho shani loikeach. Person vows that he will not enter so and so's house, he won't purchase so and so's field. Meis o shemochu liacher muter, if the owner of the field or the house died, or he sold it to someone else, then the person who had vowed not to enter it or buy it is allowed to. Koinem bayis zeh shani nichnas soda zu shani lokeach. Here, the vow was not stated in the personalized or possessive form like in number 1, but here it's an objective vow regarding the house or the field. He says, he imposes a konam, which is an expression of a vow of prohibition on the house, on this house or this field I will not buy. If the original owner had died or sold it to someone else, that does not enable the one who took the vow to benefit from those properties, because, as we said, the vow was imposed in an objective fashion without the possessive element. So objectively, the house is prohibited. Objectively, the field is something that he cannot purchase, regardless of who the owner is right now. With that, we conclude our shiur for today.